You see him on the news.
CNN.com contributor, Dean Obeidallah. So, Dean...
Watch him at comedy clubs.
When I say Mecca, do you think of a holy place or an urban clothing line?
Read his articles. And you hear him on the radio. The Dean Obeidallah Show is on live right here on SiriusXM Progress, Channel 127.
And welcome to the show, brothers and sisters of the resistance. Wednesday, January 2nd, 2019. I'm Dean Obeidallah. Happy New Year. I hope you had a great holiday week. If you were celebrating things, if you had some fun or relaxed. I was here in New York. It was stressful. This is how stressful New York is during the holidays. Everyone feels it. I was on the bus, and a guy in a suit and tie took too long to pay the bus fare, and a homeless guy on the bus screamed out, "Come on, I got things to do." This is the city I live in, folks. The homeless have stress. Everyone has stress. And I'm actually calm, although my stress level's back up here. As soon as I got in the studio, I'm like, hey, it's Fight Club time. I have a lot of stuff to cover. First and foremost, there are a few numbers. Yes, numbers I want to give out for you that are relevant. 671. What do you think that stands for? 671. Anyone guess? That's how many days there are to November 3rd, 2020. The day we will win the presidential election back. 151 days. This is kind of important. 151 is how many days to the first Democratic presidential debates. They're going to be in June. I don't have the exact date in June, but Tom Perez, DNC chair, right before the break, said the first debates will be in June, the first formal debates. And number one day until the Democrats take the House back. The Democrats are coming. They take the House, and we need to savor this moment. Everyone listening, you all worked hard to win the House back. We all worked hard, from making phone calls to knocking on doors to retweeting things to just listening to this show or the other shows on this channel to voting. And we did something that was not achievable in the last 8 years. That is win the House of Representatives. We switched power in one of the two chambers of Congress. And this is a remarkable development. And not only did we win, we won 40 House seats, the most since 1974. In fact, Democrats in this midterm got the most votes any party ever got in a midterm. That's how much we came out. And we flipped 7 governorships from red to blue, including Kansas, which is very red, and Wisconsin, knocking Scott Walker out, sending him back to wherever he goes. So enjoy it. And tomorrow, when Nancy Pelosi is elected Speaker and these new members of the House are sworn in, it's a great day for America. Because the new class of Democrats coming to the House of Representatives looks like America. The diversity is remarkable. So as much as Trump tries to pull us back, as much as Trump only wants immigrants from Norway and wants to build a racist monument called the Wall and calls Africa and Haiti S-hole countries and wants to keep Muslims out, nope, we're here. The Democrats are here. We're not coming, we're here. And tomorrow, they will take control. And what will happen is, in a short time, Americans will be reminded what the Founding Fathers intended. That Article 1 of the Constitution empowers Congress to do the job of oversight over the executive branch, which for the last 2 years has not been done at all by the Republicans. They've been rolling over. They should not even gotten health benefits. They did so little work, Republicans in the House. So we're going to see that they'll be able to investigate real issues, vote on key issues, which we'll talk about more in a second. They'll be able to investigate things like the death of 2 young children in the custody of Border Patrol and of 7-year-old Jacqueline McQueen and on Christmas Eve, 8-year-old Felipe Gomez Alonso, both killed because of Donald Trump's policies. Children dead. They'll be investigating that and more. By the way, today Donald Trump tweeted, and he tweeted over the break a lot too, about the idea that Mexico is paying for the wall. Literally tweeted, Mexico is paying for the wall through the new NAFTA, USMCA. My response is, then you were done. You got the money from Mexico. Why do you keep asking us for the money? You got it. Apparently, Mexico's paying for the wall on layaway. It's going to be over years, and then at some point, when they have enough money, we'll give Trump the wall. Just like layaway. That's how it works. Donald Trump has failed to get Mexico to pay for the wall and somehow wants America to pay for it. No, the deal wasn't. The deal was Mexico's going to pay for a wall. That was it. That's the promise. The number one promise everyone thinks of from the campaign was build a wall, Mexico will pay for it. But the art of the deal man failed. And I want to know, did he even try? When they were negotiating the new NAFTA, did he even ask the Mexican representatives, will you pay for the wall up front? Why wasn't that a term in the new NAFTA? The great negotiator. Why wasn't it? And how come the media has not probed that from Trump and others? Did you even ask the Mexican authorities to pay for the wall like you promised you would? When you negotiated new NAFTA, he sat there with his representatives, Trump's representatives, with Mexicans' representatives, talk about new NAFTA. Did they even raise paying for the wall and any of that? I think we should know the answer. But look, so much is going on. The economy is teetering. I'm not saying it's sliding yet, but it's concerning. Stock market has slid in December, the worst since the Great Depression. We have prescription drug prices skyrocketing, healthcare costs going up, wages slightly moving up, but inflation is outpacing it. And Trump just wants to talk about a wall. I wish he had this much passion for healthcare for all. I wish he had this much passion trying to bring down prescription drug prices or voting and education for all Americans. But nope, he's got one thing. And today he had a press event. It was like an hour and a half of garbage. I think Trump's any kind of press clips that they play on the media should come with a warning, like a health warning, saying that if you watch this, you'll get dumber. Never has somebody said so much stupid in so little time as Donald Trump does. And I'm not going to play even one clip from that stupidity. I don't want to make you dumber. I want you to be as smart as possible. I watched some of it. I am now dumber. I hope I can get my brain cells. If I sleep a lot tonight, maybe by tomorrow, I eat well, I'll get the brain cells back that Trump destroyed. Instead of playing clips, I'm going to literally read you. I'm not kidding. Literally read you some of the lines from the press debacle he had today at the cabinet meeting. Again, these are all real lines. He said, I'll do my best little Trumpian here. He said about James Mattis, what has he done for me? How has he done in Afghanistan? Not too good, not too good. I'm not happy with what he done in Afghanistan, and I shouldn't be happy. He went on to say, I know more about drones than anybody. I could be the most popular person in Europe. I could run for any office I wanted to, but I don't. I think I would have been a good general, but who knows? These are actual quotes. I'm not exaggerating anyone, just so you know. Continue on. Oil prices are not luck. I called up certain people and told them, let that damn oil flow. We're getting out of Syria. Look, we don't want Syria. We're talking about sand and death. We're not talking about vast wealth. We're talking sand and death. I'm trying not to laugh. The reason Russia was in Afghanistan was because terrorists were going to Russia. They were right to be there. Jeff Flake is now selling real estate or whatever he's doing. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the language of the leader of the Republican Party. Trump is the GOP and the GOP is Trump. And there he is. That is unreal. Again, I refuse to play these clips for you because I have too much respect for you. I want you to be the smartest person you can be. I don't want you to get dumber by listening to the stupidity and gibberish bull garbage of, I don't want to curse the first day. So much stupid in so little time. That's Trump. That should be his slogan for 2020. I have my slogan for Trump in 2020, Trump for prison 2020. That's my idea. Trump for prison 2020. Trademark Dean Obeidallah. So, but here's the thing. Things are changing. And the media narrative is still controlled by Donald Trump. It's been controlled by Donald Trump shortly after he came down that escalator at Trump Tower in June of 2015. And the media were like sycophants covering him for a year and a half, getting a bump in ratings, not being critical of him until he got the nomination. Then they began to get more critical. As president, certainly they have been critical, but they're still obsessed with ratings. That's the bias of all mainstream media. That's the world we live in. They're publicly traded companies. That's what they do. But in order for us to win, we have to wrestle back the media narrative from Donald Trump. And two things are coming up, which I think will play a role in it. And that's my big point about how do we wrestle back the media narrative from Donald Trump? Because we cannot allow him to continue to control it. But we can't just say, hey, media, you're not being fair. They don't care about fair. They care about ratings. So we have to be creative. We have to come up with things to get ratings, that get our message out there that we're not just against Trump, but we're for things that are going to help the average American. Like Donald Trump being for this wall doesn't help any American with their health care costs or prescription drug costs or their wages go up or education costs go down for college educations. None of that. The list goes on and on and on. None of that. This is symbolic. I wrote about it over the holidays for CNN. And this wall is a promise to a base that is afraid, that has white fragility. And this wall is symbolic, telling them Donald Trump is going to do or die. He's going to fall on this sword. He will lose the battle to keep America from being overrun by brown people. That's what this is. We know what this is. We don't have to play games. That's what it's about. But two things are happening that could change the media narrative. One is the 2020 race for president has begun. Elizabeth Warren is now out there running. She's going to be on Rachel Maddow tonight at 9 o'clock after the show. And after this show, on her show, of course. And we're going to have a lot of coverage. The Democratic leading candidates will be out there setting the tone for what Democrats stand for. It's also ridiculous to see the coverage of Elizabeth Warren, which just echoes the way the media destroyed Hillary Clinton for years. Is she likable enough? Elizabeth Warren is amazingly likable. This is outrageous that some in the media are having this discussion. It's sort of like they got their old articles from about Hillary Clinton from 2015 and just crossed out Hillary Clinton's name and wrote in Elizabeth Warren, and they're putting them out there now. I hope people just reject that media narrative so outright and so clearly they stop it. But one thing we're going to have Democrats running, and what I look forward to is Trump, the great counterpuncher. He has to respond to every Democrat who attacks him. I can't wait till there's just 25 Democrats running for president, all attack him. And there's Trump on Twitter going crazy, sort of like a cat chasing a laser pointer. Like he can't stop, just nuts, spinning like a whirling dervish. They're like, Trump's on the floor again. Oh, because 8 Democrats attacked him. I cannot wait till the Democrats are at debates and him going crazy as one after the other just destroys him. That's going to be a good day. But secondly, the biggest thing is to change the media narrative. What's going to happen tomorrow? Democrats are going to take over one chamber of Congress. We're going to have Nancy Pelosi as Speaker and other people elevated to higher positions in the House or for the first time elected office. And they'll tell America our story. And I think that's where the debate, to me, more than 2020 right now, and we're going to get into 2020 a lot, of course, but more than 2020 is right now. Watch the Democrats in the House be doing to set the narrative, to tell our fellow Americans what we are about. They all know we hate Trump. On that message, we won big in the midterm. But now they're going to want more, and they should want more. What are we going to deliver? What is our vision for this great country? To me, it's very simple. Fight on healthcare right off the bat. Tomorrow they're going to pass a spending bill in the House and send it to the Senate, let the Senate not vote on it, and show the American people we won't open the government. They don't want to. But beyond that, healthcare. You have the ACA struck down by a federal judge in Texas right before the break, holding it unconstitutional. It's still the law of the land as it goes up for appeals. But Congress should be taking right now, planning for what would happen. What if the U.S. Court of Appeals in the Fifth Circuit, where it's going, upholds that decision? What if the Supreme Court, God forbid, but it's 5-4 conservative, upholds it and strikes down the ACA now? No one has coverage for pre-existing conditions in the country. We're all at peril. I don't care left or right, libertarian or socialist. You lose coverage of pre-existing condition, you or your family, it's going to affect you in a real life way. This is not an academic discussion. Congress should be, first thing, should be working on that. The Democrats have to take the lead on that. We created the ACA. Prescription drug costs. Donald Trump talks about them. They've done nothing. Per AARP, AARP, drug costs have gone up 8%. That's 4 times the rate of inflation. And some drugs off the charts. Talking about drugs for Larissa, up 19%. Diabetes drugs, up 8%. Benicar, which is used for high blood pressure, up 18%. Last year, Donald Trump's great plan to bring down drug costs. You want to know the real summary of it? How many drug prices went down last year? 46 price cuts. How many brand name drugs had price increases last year? So 46 were cut. How many had increases? 4,412. To put that in perspective, for every price decrease, there was 96 price increases. This is off the charts. Congress has to think out of the box, including capping costs on prescription drugs. This is a crime. People need this to live, and they keep raising the prices. We have to think out of the box, and Democrats have to lead that charge in the House. Make this one of the biggest issues. Voting for all, another big issue. I want to see Democrats take the leadership. Since the 2013 Supreme Court decision in Shelby County versus Holder, our Voting Rights Act has been gutted. It's time for Democrats to vote in the House, and let's see the Republicans in the House and in the Senate on the record say they don't want voting for all. I want a whole new bill. Voting for all, make that the name of the bill. Show Americans you're fighting for voting for all Americans. Let them vote against that. Raise the minimum wage. That helps close the income inequality gap. make education affordable. There was just an article in Vice right before this show. There's $1.5 billion in college student loan. We are at a college student loan bubble. The prediction is in the next few years, 40% of student loan borrowers are going to default. Even if you don't have a student loan, if you bank anywhere, that can have an impact on your banking because they're going to lose the liquidity they need for loans. It could affect all of us. There's so many issues I care about, you care about, we all care about. So my point is, Democrats have an opportunity here to shape the narrative, to wrestle it away from Donald Trump by not making it just about border security. The Democrats, we want border security. We don't want a wall because it's outdated, it's inefficient. That's the reality. It's that simple. We all want border security. Trump wants a wall because he overpromised a wall to his base. He couldn't get Mexico to pay, the art of the fail, and now wants us to pay for it. Non-starter. And I don't think any Democrat in the House will vote for funding for this wall. Border technology, border smart technology, absolutely. That's where we are. So I want to know from you, what do you think Democrats should do to get the media narrative? What creative ways? And I will share it when we have members of Congress on. We have them on, maybe not this week, but after this week, we'll go back to having on 1 or 2 a week. And I always share ideas I get from listeners. I write about it. What should Democrats be doing to get the narrative? What should we be saying we stand for the next 2 years and make it our theme from the House? To me, that's the number one issue. What do you want Democrats to focus on? What should be our priority that we tell our fellow Americans that we are about? 866-997-4748. Love to hear from you. Let's kick off the new year. Let's have a great conversation. You're my guest right to the top of the hour. 866-997-4748. Be right back with more of the Dean Obeidallah Show right after this. Progressive values are the best of American values, and we need to keep fighting for them to save our country.
Don't go anywhere. This is the Dean Obeidallah Show on Sirius XM Progress 126.